I've preached ad nauseum about how California gun laws are designed to punish gun owners and not keep them safe. And here is yet another example. This is the FN 509 MRD. 1 year ago, I did a video about how much I like this gun.
You see? It just shoots so well in my hand. Now, y'all know who follow me a lot. Y'all know when I start talking high pitch like that, I really like the gun.
I currently own this MRD and I have had absolutely no issues with this gun. So it was no surprise to me when I learned that the Los Angeles Police Department selected the FN 509 MRD as their new duty pistol. But here's where it gets ironic. LAPD thought so highly of the FN 509 MRD that it decided to make it the official duty gun of all LAPD cops. But right now, if you live in California as a citizen, you can't own the 509 MRD. Not because FN doesn't want to sell this gun to the people in California. Hell, I have one and I know a bunch of other people that have one. FN legally can't sell this gun to people in California because California thinks the FN 509 MRD is unsafe. I've had this gun for over a year. There are people who've had this gun for even longer, and I've yet to hear anything from anyone that this gun is unsafe. There's no difference from a safety feature perspective between my gun and the gun the LAPD just chose to make their duty gun. The reason why California deems this gun unsafe is because it's not on California's gun roster. California has a list of guns that Californians are allowed to own. This is California's backdoor way to ban guns. The way they do it is by creating a list of requirements that every gun sold in California must have. And if a gun doesn't have them, California considers them unsafe, even though they have nothing to do with real safety. These requirements make it really expensive to sell a gun in California. Not to mention one of the new requirements, because they just make up requirements at will, is microstamping. I did a whole video on microstamping and how it makes it virtually impossible for a manufacturer to sell a gun in California. Microstamping is using a laser to create a unique mark on the tip of a firing pin and on the breech face of a handgun. Theoretically speaking, this serves as a sort of fingerprint that is left on the back of the shell casing of a bullet for each gun. This has nothing to do with saving lives. It's about making gun ownership so expensive, so tedious, so arduous that you won't be able to do it. And they can say, we didn't ban guns, they just couldn't meet the requirements. So it's safe enough for LAPD to use the FN MRD as their duty gun, but not safe enough for California citizens to use it to protect their lives. That makes no sense. That's how stupid and hypocritical these gun laws are. How many times do I have to say that this is not about safety? It's about destroying the Second Amendment and control. It's not even like we're talking about a machine gun. It's a 9mm handgun. People have got to start opening their eyes and see that the goal is to make owning a gun so hard that it's nearly impossible. Think about it. If you create ridiculous requirements for manufacturers to sell their guns in your state, that artificially limits the guns that citizens can buy, thus driving the price of the guns in the state up, making it harder for people who don't have a lot of money to get guns to protect their lives with. Not to mention, guns aren't a one-size-fits-all. A lot of women have a hard time racking the slide on a gun, so they need a gun that's easier to rack. But they can't get that in California because a lot of those guns aren't on the dumb roster. California's gun roster is not only bullshit, it's elitist. And this proves it. They will always say it's for your safety, but in reality, it's for their control.
You know how frightening it is to think about what happens in the moments before, during, and even days after having to use your gun in self-defense? When you first start carrying a gun for protection, it can be a very scary and nerve-wracking experience, especially if you haven't gotten the education and training you need to feel confident. I've been there myself, hoping I never have to go through a self-defense shooting, which is why I'm a member of the USCCA. As a USCCA member, you can eliminate some of the stress of carrying a gun for protection by accessing the amazing wealth of firearm education, training, and current state-specific gun laws of your state or states you may travel to. This can help you be prepared for or hopefully even avoid a self-defense incident. As a bonus, members automatically become insured on the self-defense liability insurance policy purchased by and issued to the USCCA. Click below to learn more.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And most importantly, make sure you hit that bell symbol.